Now on CoastTV News.
Tents like these causing concern in Ocean City. What they have planned to fix it.
A mattress and clothes in the woods in Georgetown. It could be all cleared out by future development.
And it's looking like this week is going to be a very stormy situation with several waves of rain targeting us. I'll show you what I'm tracking.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Tents keep you cool on a hot day, but their future in Ocean City is up for debate. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with the Ocean City Council proposing a ban on tents at the beach.
According to the town, more people have been setting up tents and more people are sending complaints about those tents to the council. Live in Ocean City is CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappe. Kevin, some people say these tents do more harm than good.
Maddie, with the sun beating down on the sand, certain beachgoers are complaining that tents are obstructing the view of their great ocean time. But beachgoers are going to be trying a little bit harder to make sure these tents are not on the beach. There's plenty of room on the beach today here in Ocean City. But when those summer crowds hit, good spots and good views are few and far between. Tents have become a popular accessory along the coast, and the town of Ocean City has been receiving more and more complaints. Local Mark Deckish understands why.
I would probably ban them so you'd have unobstructed view of the beach and not prevent people from walking down back and forth.
On Tuesday, the Ocean City Council will go over all the complaints they've received about tents, mostly about obstructing the view, making it hard to reach the water, and even about makeshift campsites.
My vote would be to ban them. I would not have anything allowed on the beaches.
We talked to one vacationer who says he doesn't have a problem with the tents being posted up near the shore, and says if you do have a problem with it, to come either early or during the off-season. Safety is another issue. The town will discuss the dangers of all these tents along the coast, including blocking the view of lifeguards, crafting obstacles for ATVs responding to an emergency, and the metal parts and pieces that get left behind. Just last year, 750 parts were found by the town. Deckish has a simple solution.
Just umbrellas. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. And that would be your typical beach you'd see up and down the coast would be just having umbrellas. That would be it.
No matter what, sun and sand will still be a part of the Ocean City experience. What the town council still has to decide is whether you could bring your own shade. Now, the Ocean City Council will be looking at other beach towns to see what regulations they currently have in place. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
Kevin, thank you. And looking closer at other towns' bans, in Rehoboth, the city banned tents and canopies. In Dewey, also tents on the beach, not allowed. Canopies, though, are allowed, but there are very specific rules for them. In Bethany Beach, the town does not allow tents, canopies, tarps, or cabanas, but all the beaches do allow small baby tents.
And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know what bothers you the most about beach tents.
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 45% say crowding, though 29% say nothing. 21% say blocked view, and 5% say trip hazard.
And we do have a comment today from Skylar in Lewis. Skylar says, quote, people use them to mark their spot on the beach, then leave for hours. I don't think that's remotely fair to those looking to enjoy the beach. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttv.com or use the CoastTV mobile app. You're looking at 21 acres of land up for debate on North Bedford Street in Georgetown. Developers are looking to change this land from single-family residential to mixed residential. CoastTV News reporter Zakiya Jennings is live in Georgetown. Zakiya, you were told this development is to help address a major need in Georgetown.
Charlie, according to documents shared on the town's website, the developer is looking to bring 60 single-family homes, 28 duplexes, and 20 townhomes to this area right here. Time and time again, I've heard there's a need for workforce housing around the county, including here in Georgetown. Sussex County Habitat for Humanity says they've heard that same need. They say that's why they were invited by the developer to be part of the solution to that issue. They say they plan to offer housing at an affordable price point.
The houses that they plan to build in this community are basically for workforce housing. So people who have jobs but they can't afford the higher market rate houses that are out there right now. but they still want to be homeowners.
Tonight, the council has their first ordinance reading to approve the development. Live in Georgetown, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
And to Milford, the city is also looking at new development plans tonight. Zach King wants to make this Walnut Street lot a mixed-use 4-story building with up to 16 apartments, saying affordable housing is his main goal. King is also proposing a restaurant and bar business on the top and even a business in the basement. City Council will hear a conditional use application on that project tonight.
Tonight in Lewis, plans for a resiliency fund back in front of the City Council. Lewis says the money will help prevent and react to natural disasters. To pay for this, money will flow from existing sources like property taxes, parking revenue. The city says some simple projects could include floodgates, stormwater pump stations, and public education and training programs.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside now into Lewis, which we were just speaking about, and you can see somebody out on the water on their boat. They have the right idea, and according to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, today was the best day to do it.
Oh, without a doubt, today was the pick day to do it because the rest of the days there's no guarantee of not dealing with very choppy conditions or flat out stormy weather. Our gutter helmet camera in Ocean View, holding at 70 degrees right now. We're going to drop to 67 as early as 8 o'clock with increasing cloud cover throughout the rest of the evening. Here's what's happening right now. We see the cloud cover beginning to make its move across the region, generally speaking. Now, as far as what's happening with the beaches, we actually have an active small craft advisory in effect for basically all of the coastal portions of the Delmarva Peninsula. But it's actually to our southwest where we have a wave of rain that's already beginning to creep its way from the south to the north. And this is part of a bigger system that's going to cause us a little bit of misery for the next, let's say, 2 to possibly 3 days in a row as this makes its move in our area. Right now, we're in the 70s inland, 60s along the shore, 66 degrees Bethany Beach, Indian River Inlet, as well as Rehoboth, but 76 degrees right now in Milton. And our evening planner shakes out like this. We're looking for a temperature staying in the 60s, but we're going to have the winds relatively docile at about 4 to 10 miles per hour. Coming up, we're going to talk about the timing of that rain and why it's going to stick around all week long, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. New tonight, U.S. and China coming out of a marathon weekend of talks by agreeing to drastically reduce tariffs on one another's imports for at least 90 days. With this new 90-day agreement, which takes effect on Wednesday, the U.S. will lower tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% down to 30%, and China will cut its levies on U.S. imports from 125% to 10%. The director of National Economic Council described it as, quote, historic fresh start.
If you do anything that might change the status quo, then that's going to add to uncertainty. But the uncertainty is on the right side of the American worker, because ultimately, if the uncertainty works, then you move to a better place. And that's what we're seeing in country after country after country.
Global markets reacted in positive fashion to today's news. It's also a sigh of relief for at least 90 days for businesses and consumers.
President Trump signed an executive order today that aims to cut prescription drug prices. A White House official said the action makes a promise to crack down on other countries' quote, unreasonable practices that suppress drug prices. The administration's executive order would apply to a wide range of drugs and prices in the commercial market. That would include Medicare and Medicaid. The Department of Health and Human Services would work to negotiate lower prices.
The principle is simple. Whatever the lowest price paid for a drug in other developed countries, that is the price that Americans will pay.
Trump's executive order comes as the administration has been considering imposing tariffs on pharmaceutical imports.
The last known living American hostage in Gaza was released by Hamas today. The militant group said Eden Alexander was handed over to the Red Cross officials. The New Jersey native was serving with Israel's military when he was abducted near the Gaza border on October 7th, 2023.
Lewis talks rentals and taxes, increases that could hit short-term rental properties.
And we have a few soaking showers approaching us from the west, so get your umbrella out for this work week. You'll need it.
But first, after another traffic control outage in Newark, why the Transportation Secretary says that it's safe to fly there. That story up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Newark Liberty International Airport, one of the nation's busiest airports, has experienced equipment issues leading to thousands of delays and flight cancellations for the last 2 weeks.
As Ivan Rodriguez shows us, those problems persisted over the weekend, and this time another airport was forced to issue a ground stop.
After another air traffic control equipment outage, the Federal Aviation Administration implemented a ground stop for Newark Liberty International Airport bound flights Sunday morning. This comes after a 90-second long radar and radio outage last Friday at the Philadelphia-based TRACON facility, handling flights departing from or arriving at Newark. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it's still safe to fly into Newark.
I fly out of Newark all the time. My family flies out of Newark. And just when we saw these two incidents, when we have issues, there are policies and procedures in place for controllers and for pilots. They know what to do.
All while admitting many systems air traffic controllers use are old.
The Congress and the country haven't paid attention to it, right? They expect it to work. And so now I think the lights are blinking, the sirens are turning, and they're saying, listen, we have to fix this, because what you see in Newark is going to happen in other places across the country.
The FAA also issued a ground stop for some flights bound for Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport due to a runway equipment issue, separate from the issue impacting Newark. More than 50% of flights were delayed at the Atlanta airport Sunday, according to the website FlightAware. Former Transportation Department Inspector General Mary Schiavo says aging technology has been a concern for years and the expense is rising.
Congress has said that they are giving them an initial budget of something like 12.5 or 15 billion. That's the tip of the iceberg.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking for scattered showers on Tuesday, cloudy on Wednesday, and more on Thursday. Yeah, a bit of a soggy situation. We need to go ahead and talk about it, so stick around. This is one of those weeks where you need to plan your wardrobe with an umbrella pretty much most of the work week, and I'll show you why. Our Irish Eyes camera, 77 Lewis, a bit on the cloudy side, and will stay that way tonight as we slip to the upper 60s as early as 9 o'clock. We are in the 70s right now throughout inland areas. 76 Long Neck, Milton, and in Georgetown, but we're holding it 10 degrees cooler than that in places like Rehoboth Beach. The winds right now pushing out of the south with gusts not necessarily all that abrasive or aggressive at about 17 mile-per-hour gusts Indian River Inlet. However, we do have an active small craft advisory staying in effect until 8 o'clock for places like Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, Ocean View, as well as Fenwick Island. This also applies until 7 p.m. Wednesday for Ocean City, down towards Chincoteague, and over in Crisfield as well, at least until 6 o'clock for Tuesday. So it's going to be a little breezy on all the beaches throughout the Delmarva Peninsula. Then there's the rain. I'm just showing you, just as a courtesy, going to show you my frame of reference here. We're looking at widespread flood watch, or the potential of flooding throughout all of basically Virginia. This is part of a bigger system that's carrying its way from the south to the north, and it's part of a bigger system that's going to begin to come knocking on our doors for a couple of days in a row. A few showers for tonight, and we'll see a little bit soggy in Georgetown and 65. Same holds true for us in Milford and Milton. So a quick look at our high-resolution model overnight. 6 o'clock in the morning, we see widespread scattered showers, possibly some isolated cells by 12 noon. This is just one of our models, or our shortcast or nowcast model. So for Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy with showers overtaking the area. Wednesday, heavy pre-dawn. Before the sun comes up, that's when that rain's really going to hit. So tomorrow, 73 in Georgetown, Millsboro, winds out of the southeast, 11 to 19 miles per hour. 73 for the high with cloudy skies and rain in Cambridge, and we're looking for the same in Berlin and Snow Hill at 70 degrees. We have an 85% chance of rain for Tuesday, so that's our heavy bedding day, so to speak. And then we go up to at least 49, near 50 for Thursday. So for Tuesday, we start off in the morning time, scattered showers, relatively light. It pushes through. We see hit and miss pattern continue throughout the day, and then some isolated cells. That's just before the sun comes up on Wednesday. That's where you see all those yellows and reds dancing around. So for Tuesday, we're looking at a half an inch, but then going into early Wednesday, from midnight Tuesday going into Wednesday, that's when we jump up to like 2 inches of rain, according to this latest model run. That's because of the intense cells we expect throughout the late night, early morning hours. We're looking for the same pattern from Ocean Pines down towards Snow Hill. Scattered showers for us and relatively light to moderate showers during the day. And then look at 4 o'clock in the morning. Look at this monster of a storm trying to develop off the ocean, according to our model run, for early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. But we have a morning crew that'll be in place just in case something like that actually comes into fruition. So a wider view of this shows Thursday we'll see scattered showers pushing through as well. So for tonight, clouds building up and 64 degrees. For tomorrow, widespread spotty rain possible and likely. Then for Wednesday, gray skyline with showers possible, but then it's really going to kick back in full throttle for Thursday. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. And then those showers really become more, well, let's just say front and center Friday and Saturday.
Eye on it, Paul. Warmer weather means more people outside riding bikes, scooters, and skateboards. The city of Cambridge is reminding everybody to follow the rules. Maryland drivers are required by law to give at least 3 feet of space when passing cyclists or scooter riders. The city reminds everybody to stay off sidewalks in business areas and to use lights at night.
To Lewis, tonight, City Council will talk about implementing a 2% lodging tax. This will affect hotels within town and comes on top of an already existing 8% lodging tax. The city also considering increasing the tax on short-term rental properties. Officials looking to up that to 5.5%. It's currently 5%. The city considers short-term rentals anything 30 days or less. Now here's something interesting. Accessory dwelling units used for long-term rentals, they may be exempt if they qualify as affordable rent and are approved by the city of Lewis.
In Georgetown, Food Truck Tuesdays is returning tomorrow after a 6-year break. The pre-pandemic event is coming back to East Market Street. The event will host food trucks on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of each month from May all the way through August. Tomorrow's event is going to be held from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Coming up, the Memorial Day travel rush is approaching. The record-breaking travel expected by AAA. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Memorial Day weekend, hard to believe, but it is almost here, and AAA expects a record number of travelers. AAA estimating more than 45 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home. The majority of travelers later this month will make their trip by car. And the good news, gas prices, they are down on average nearly 50 cents compared to this time last year.
If you've owned an Apple device since 2014, you may be eligible for part of a $95 million class action lawsuit. The lawsuit accused the voice assistant Siri of spying on users. They said their private conversations were being recorded after Siri was unintentionally activated. Now, although that settlement was reached, Apple has denied all of these allegations.
This morning, Pope Leo met the press, including NBC's Lester Holt, switching between languages while addressing hundreds of international journalists. The new pope made his way around the crowd. Lester will have much more tonight from the Vatican on NBC Nightly News.
80 years ago this week, a German submarine surrendered off the coast of Lewis. It was the first Axis surrender in U.S. waters. Our special story, Surrender at Sea, looks at how Delaware played a role in the final days of World War II. You can catch that Wednesday during Coast TV News at 6. And let's take a live look into Dover and more check on the forecast after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, Rehoboth Beach Patrol almost open. When you can check out the news station, that story and more at 6.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network right now, it's Sussex Tech versus Polytech in girls soccer, then the final score at 10:30. On DSN Plus, coming up at 5:30, Sussex Central hosts Smyrna in girls soccer.
Here's a look at our Bay Health camera. Dover, we're at 81 degrees right now, going to drop back to 70 by 9 o'clock with mostly cloudy skies. Our umbrella giveaway winner, Terry Baylor of Lewis. Congratulations, and you're going to need that umbrella this week, to be quite honest. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brugstedt, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Listen, we're looking for cloudy skies and rain for Tuesday. Cloudy at the very least on Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's when we may actually start accumulating some significant showers in our area.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.